That was one of my goals, was to come here and have a chance to think in new ways that being inside a newsroom for 25 years, you don't generally get the chance to, because of a combination of deadlines, but also the groupthink that sort of has taken over journalism in many ways. We're not great innovators, let's be honest. It's in part because we've been so successful. When you're making a lot of money and you're having a lot of success doing what you've been doing for the last 25, 30, 40 years, it's hard to change. I came to Stanford with this idea that your social graph, which is all your interactions on the internet, would start to shape how you looked at news and how you were able to find news. It turned out that that was correct. Technology and, in fact, developments on the internet accelerated to the point where some of the points of my project were already taken care of. And one of the important things I learned is that the amount of data that's being generated about each one of us is incredible and growing exponentially as most of the offline world moves to the online world. That means that the companies that have the most data about you will have the best access to figure out how they can better serve your news and information needs. You know, my project was basically rendered obsolescent very early on in my time here at Stanford. But out of that came several different projects. One was a look at what is the technology that underlies this change, and that is the semantic web. This is this theory that we will change the way that the web is organized going forward. Some of it's very science fiction, but some of it's already taking place. So I wanted to come here and do both the practical, because there are certain things that I knew I could learn about the future of journalism, platforms, technology, things like that. But I also wanted to do the philosophical, which was to take a deep dive and look at really what are the forces changing journalism. Beyond technology, what are the cultural changes that are taking place? And there are some very important ones. Again, we're moving from a conversation that we've had with just one person to where we can have conversations with many people. And for broadcasters, that sounds familiar. We're used to doing a broadcast and reaching many people, but what we've neglected is the part of people talking back to us. And that's the shift that we're seeing. We have to become much more collaborative. We have to be involved in conversations in our community and welcoming information and input from our community in a way that we've never done before. And again, that's one of the things you quickly pick up here in Silicon Valley, is the value of that and also the ways that you can do that. I used my first semester to find ways to think in new ways that I'd never done before. So I took a writing class, and I took a design school class, and I took a class that had nothing to do with my professional aspirations, but made me think in new ways. That was enormously refreshing. It made me feel like I really had embraced the Stanford opportunity. And then I was able to apply some of those new thinking techniques to the problem that I was trying to solve. And while I didn't necessarily solve the problem, I certainly gained a much greater understanding of it, and I think I'll be able to apply that many years into the future.